Every law that you come across in the Bible are instructions on how to love God and love our fellow man. You know, there would be a lot, if we could just accept that principle, there'd be a lot less hostility toward the law of God. Because if you listen to some preachers, you almost get the impression that it's a sin to try to keep God's law. That it's something wrong with me if I try to, that's works of the law, and we're saved by grace, and you don't have to pay that law any attention. It's been nailed to the cross. It's been fulfilled. It's been done away with. You almost get the impression by some preachers that it's wrong to try to do the right thing, to obey God. Yes, to keep His law. Now, I want to give you some guidelines about the laws of God. First one is this. No one keeps all 613 laws found in the Bible. If someone tells you they do, they're lying. Okay. Another point is, not all of the laws apply to you or me. Example, if the laws concerning a woman's period, that doesn't apply to me because I'm male. All right. So not every law that you read may apply to you. Another point I want to make is I don't understand all 613 laws found in the Bible. So it's hard to keep a law that you don't understand. There's sometimes, I struggle with that stuff. I think, what is the meaning behind this? I don't understand it. How would I even apply this? Okay. But if we would approach the law as instructions on how, every time you come across a law in the Bible, how to love God, how to love our fellow man more deeply, it would do us all a world of good. Now again, most Christians, I think, would say they believe in and keep the 10 Commandments. Some, they may struggle with the fourth one, to keep the Sabbath day. But most sincere Christians would say, okay, at least I keep 9 of them, or I keep 10 of the commandments. I keep the 10 Commandments. They would say that. Okay, but I want to look at some other commandments or other laws in the Bible. Now, the question you always want to ask is this. What is the principle, when you come across a law in the Bible, what is the principle behind this law? Let's take a look at one here. Deuteronomy 22 and verse 8. When you build a new house, then you shall make a battlement for the roof, that you bring not blood upon thy house, if any man fall from hence. Now, back then, the Jewish home, they were flat roof homes, and they would get up there in the cool of the day. And God is concerned about this, that, if you get up there and maybe you drink a little bit too much wine, you don't want your neighbor falling off and getting hurt, because that's where you're hanging out, on this flat roof. And so God says, what I want you to do is I want you to put a railing on your roof, that flat roof, so that nobody stumbles and falls and gets hurt, so that blood does not come upon, your house. Now, how do we apply this law today? Would it make sense to put a railing on a roof home? No, that wouldn't make a bit of sense, because we don't hang out on a roof home. But in our building codes, I think it's 32 inches, if you build a deck 32 inches high, you need to put a railing. It's okay. The principle of God's law remains the same. The application, how you apply it, can change. And so the application of this very law is built into our building codes. Again, the principle of God's law remains the same. How you apply it can change.